Good evening, teacher and classmates. Today I'm going to talk about corrective feedback. First, let's start like a conversation where I ask, you respond, then you ask, and I respond. But in this case, I'm alone. It's just me, so I will do it. What do you think corrective feedback is? Undoubtedly, it is a way to success. I mean, we all make mistakes, but people who learn and learn and learn and learn and continue learning from them are finally destined to succeed. And what we teachers have to do is to pay attention to that mistakes and errors. And I know you're right now confused. Aren't they similar? Yes, they are, but they're not exactly the same. A mistake it is the one you know, or at least are supposed to know. And an error is just an error you haven't had idea before. However, this is not really important. We also have to pay attention to the two of them, right? I just said that because I don't want you to get confused with the video. And well, in few words, corrective feedback is the method we use to correct our students, to correct their errors and mistakes also. So let's say, now let's continue with the next question, sorry. What's the importance of including corrective feedback? The importance of including corrective feedback is as much as if you don't use it, your learners won't learn as they should have. When you try to learn or study something, it's common to make errors so that there are the teachers. But what happens when you just study language by your own? You can get involved into too many videos on YouTube whenever you want. However, they are just recorded videos, and whatever job you have, because it shouldn't be possible that you don't have anyone, you are not perfect, right? Whatever doubt you have is going to be forgotten by yourself and non-existent, maybe, by the youth teacher, am I right? So what happens when you don't pay attention to your doubts? Nothing. Nothing will happen. You will continue doing the same errors, and in Spanish, tropezando con la misma piedra, which means that you won't speak a very well English, and maybe an incomprehensible one. So what do you think corrective feedback is made for? For making a solution to that same issue. Why should you use the corrective feedback? To have better scored students and to report it to your superiors. To report what? That you are having better results with learners. That's it. When do we have to use it? Let's talk about some specific situations. I just will put you into two situations you have to use it. Okay, just put yourself into that situation where you ask someone to give his or her opinion about a topic which is being studied. To read an activity instruction or a similar situation where a target learner makes an oral mistake, you first have to recognize what is the objective of asking for opinions. Always is going to be to have fluency, right? Always fluency at speaking and not, and to continue formulating ideas so that you'll have to wait till the learner finishes to start saying something, whether direct or indirect way. Let's use an indirect way. You could say, okay, and sorry, I didn't hear very well. What do you say about that? Say. He's going to respond, what, teacher? Because he couldn't understand what you're talking about, right? Then you say, that's say. You say, right? I'm really sorry, teacher. I meant see. What I say about it was, and he will continue. Am I right? That should be all you do, but you can always manage it the way you prefer. Okay. Now you get your class, sorry, yeah, you get your class to make a writing, and when you correct them at your house or whatever you prefer, you'll find something wrong. Let's say that was about grammar. What do you think would happen if you just take your red pen and write a real and correct answers? There are two options, and one of them is going to be that your learner is a responsibly adult and will study and learn from that error, right? But the other option is that the target learner is a crazy adolescent, as me, and just will say, just, okay? Let me give you a better option. You circle the mistake and write just a G. When then at class you return writings and say clearly what does what does G mean? And if you prefer, you can also try to treat them to lower their grades if they don't remain the same right in the next class. Of course, you won't do it, but just they're like a joke, right? You can also correct students in too many other ways. Let me give you some examples. Someone says, my dad have to work every day, okay? My dad have to work every day. Put in your mind. You can, okay, then you say, can you repeat it? And you will say, can you repeat it? Can you repeat it? Till the student correct by him or herself. You can also say, your dad has, right? You let it clear, has. I mean, with your tone of voice, your gestures, also, you have to set it clear that that specific word is wrong. You can also say halves, as the student said, right? But just to put it clear that this is wrong, right? You can also say, do you remember what do we have to do with verbs when they are a third person and the tense is present simple? Do you remember? Of course, sorry. And you can do it that way, and the student will got it. And if not, you will reteach the lesson, right? Or you can also ask for another student to correct that, and to be just that, okay? Of course, there are more ways, but I don't want to make an 1 hour video. I don't want to do it. Now let's talk about my personal opinion, what I think about a corrective feedback. What I think about a corrective feedback is always going to be respect to such a teaching method, but no todo es color de rosas, could say in Spanish, because this method is a very well one and has so many implementations, but there's a fault, right? There is a fault into the implementations. What I mean with that? I mean the human error, that you really can study this method in so many pages, how to implement it into a real classroom. What are the situations where you can make use of that? Why do you have to use it? And you know all the questions which were answered here before. Corrective feedback is never an easy task, but a necessary evil. Sorry, please let me repeat it again, so it's never going out from you. You will record it always, right? The way how you deliver and how often you do so is going to make a real difference. A real difference. And we're talking about the education sector. If you teach so, your students are going to learn so, and also to teach it again to their future children, to their future learners, to their future friends and all that, right? All over them. You got it. You and just you can make a change into the whole world, the whole world. And that's all what I had to say for today. I think I'm done. Hope you're satisfied now. Hope you learned something new today. And remember, you can also press the subscribers button. I still remember what I said about dubs just few minutes before, few minutes ago, sorry. But you can comment something. I also had some other videos about these topics. If you're English teacher, those videos are going to be very useful for you. Hope you follow me and thank you. That was all and have a good night. Boom.